What's up, guys? Spencer here from the Soul Sandy Sneaker Podcast. Today I'm going to be doing a comparison slash review on two of the most hyped. Well, the undefeateds are coming out, so two of the most hyped, not the two most hyped Jordan 4's of 2025. So both of these did release this last month. I'm sure quite a few of you that will watch this video took an L. But what's so ironic about it is that I'm actually the only member of our podcast that does not own these shoes now. I don't know if I share the space with some big ballers or if my interests just don't align with everybody else's. But it's a cool shoe. It's just not for me. But we'll get right into that later. But first, we're gonna talk about the Nike SB Navy Jordan 4. We'll go through that before we go through the bricks. I just want to note that neither one of these shoes are mine, so because neither one of these are really my cup of tea. I honestly think the navy could have been a little bit better had it been like the military blue with that gum bottom hit would have really done something for me. This one didn't really do anything for me. And not just this color, but the green SB4 didn't do anything for me. I had those. I traded those for something. And then I'm not a fan of the red one either. So they gotta switch up the color blocking for me to be interested in one of the Nike SB Jordan 4's. So. So a lot of you have probably heard, but some of you are probably wondering what the biggest difference is between this and a regular Air Jordan 4. Obviously, these wings right here, they're going to be a durable but flexible rubber material. So obviously you see how I'm just moving this right here really easily. This is rubber as well, so give you a durable but like obviously flexible feel because this is a skateboarding shoe. For those of you who don't know, Nike SB means Nike Skateboarding. Not some people say it means Sandy Bodecker, but skateboard. So the tongue, much thicker, bulkier tongue for comfort purposes. The leather on this is a lot more durable, but also they still did a soft premium leather. So kudos to them. 4-foot midsole. So the midsole right here. There's usually an air unit here, not just here, but there's usually an air unit here as well. But to make it a little bit thinner, so obviously like your toe has more room, because obviously everybody complains about these are pinky toe crushers, as Jeremiah would say. There's no air unit here, and it's removed with a Poron liner, which is a lot softer than the Nike Air, and it should give you like more board feel. Anybody who skateboards knows that you need the flick, and you need to be able to feel the board through your toe. So that's what that's there for. We have a Durabuck toe. This is not a soft suede like you're gonna see on the Brick by Bricks, but this is like a Durabuck, so a durable suede material, just to make sure we have some quality over time. The mesh under these wings, obviously you can see this is really movable. It's not as stiff as a lot of other Jordan 4's. There's mesh holes underneath here to increase breathability throughout the shoe. So that's going to be here, and here. All of the panels with that feature the webbing. And then they didn't change the insole. It's still a regular Dream Cell insole. We do have thicker cushioning padding, through the side here. Like I said, premium materials, very good job. Obviously, they come with a $225 price tag, so they better have some premium materials. I believe the Brick by Bricks also feature a $225 price tag, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that one, because obviously, who was able to get them for retail for real? Let's be honest. Let's talk about it. And then, honestly, one of my favorite parts is this little red air bubble through here, paired with the red accent on the tongue and on the bottom. So. Me and Rich talked last week about blue, red, and white being like a really overdone color palette, but I feel like when it's done like this, it's not too overbearing. Like Tommy Hilfiger and Polo, they really, in the Olympics, they really have just overdone this, red, white, and blue. And obviously we're in America, whatever. But and the only flaw I see on the shoe is it looks like there might be a little bit of bleeding of red onto the Jordan Jumpman, like the tab, not of the red Jumpman is kind of like bleeding onto the tab. It gives it like a dyed feel. I know I said I didn't like any of the SB models, any of the SB4 colorways. This is probably my favorite of those, though. And then maybe if they come out with the Black Cat SB4, which was like rumored that wear testers were having them a couple years ago. All black 4 would be cool, with even if they put the white Nike SB on the back. That'd be really clean. I would be kind of interested in those, probably turn those into like work shoes, depending on how comfortable they are, because I didn't try on, this is not my size, and I did not try on the green one, so to be determined, if that black pair does ever get a retail release. On to the one that I'm sure everybody cares about. So these are not mine, so I'm going to handle with the utmost care. I would have had gloves on, but I didn't have any. So, first big difference, obviously, Bike Air, Nike Air. Well, Nike SB, sorry. This tab, obviously, this one's a lot stiffer. This is not rubber. The wings, not, this is plastic. This is like very easy to move. The webbing is a lot more like tense or tight to the actual 3M material underneath. I'm sure the camera is picking it up right now, but this, like, to me, right on my side, because there's no light, this is a matte finish underneath the webbing, but when you turn it around and face the light, it does give you a bit of a contrast with the reflection a little bit. It's not too overbearing like it's a neon like vest at night, but there's a subtle 3M reflection here just to make that pop a little bit more. Inside tab right here says Jordan Biking Co. Company 2017, and then this one says just Air Jordan. Tongue is a lot thinner here. Obviously this is way thicker here on the SB. This is a BMX inspired shoe, but this is not a BMX shoe. There was no design alterations to make this shoe wearable for skate. This is a streetwear shoe. Just to put that out there for those who might not know. So don't skate your BMX. Unless you're Nigel and you have a bunch of pairs, don't skate these. So we have his trademark little swoosh up here on his one of the most prominent features on the shoe, which is, I don't even know what to call this texture, but it's a very durable and brick-like material. I hope it stays like this over time, because I could definitely see stuff like that wearing off, especially with wear. But like I said, I don't know what name to give this, but it's it's a thick texture and it's rugged. So the Firewood Orange, which is what the Firewood Orange and Cinnabar are the colors on this. So for those of you who keep saying this shoe is red, it's orange. I'm just not a fan of the monotone. It's got some good suede overall. That's in frame. Got some good suede overall. Good materials, like I said, for $225. We better get some good materials. But it's just not for me. There is a white pair coming out that's similar to the Fire Red. I would be more interested in those. It's a little bit more my style. OG-esque, But the Bike Air is really cool to see, just because anytime they remove that Nike Air and put something else on there besides the Jumpman, that's a big deal for me. That does it for me. The bottom, pretty standard. In the inside, we do have his Go branding on the insole. I'm not going to take Eli's insole out though. And we do have the sail laces that a lot of people are switching their shoes to. I would also probably put in sail laces, but we'll see what Eli does. Shout out my dog E-Doug for letting me get these for the review. Let's talk about Nigel Sylvester a little bit. So Nigel joined Nike in 2005. So he's been with the Nike Jordan brand for 20 years. But he converted over to Jordan exclusively in 2021. So far he has had 7 silhouettes through Nike and Jordan. 6.0 Maverick, which was a skate shoe. We do have a Nike SB Dunk High. The Maverick was in 2009. SB Dunk High is 2014. We have an Air Force One, a trio of Air Force Ones that you can Nike ID in 2018, and there's a low and a high as well. So most of the people probably know the black 2018 Air Force One from Nigel. We do have an Airship that came out in 2023 that did not release to the public. It was I don't want to call it a PE because he's not a player, but it was a skate exclusive for Nigel. It did feature the Bike Air branding on the back of that as well. However, it released to the public and they changed it to Every Game. So that's the Every Game airships that released 2 years ago. I do have the blue ones. However, I would love to have the Friends and Family Bike airships. Somebody plug me up. 2018 Jordan 1 High. That's the dirty-ish, looking one. It's sail, red on the bottom, black, collar. I like those. Not that big of a fan. There's a Friends and Family one that came out in 2022. That's all black. It's where it was sale. It's black now. These are both like worn looking shoes. Not unlike the Lance Mountain vibes that we were getting from Jordan Brand from the years prior. So last year we got the Jordan 4 RM in two different colors. The Grandma's Driveway, which is the green, the most popular one, and then we got a Driveway Gray a little bit later. So that's the Jordan 4 RM, which is like essentially a low Jordan 4. It did feature these the mini swoosh at the front. I would say they did pretty good. Obviously, they're not sitting around in stores. They haven't really corralled people to, or at least in my area, to purchase the actual Jordan 4 RMs. So it seems like only the Nigel 4 RMs are doing very well. Everything else is kind of sitting by the wayside. And then lastly, there is going to be a Jordan 1 Low later this year. It's called the Nitro. I don't believe it's out yet. It is a nod to the Friends and Family Jordan 1 High as well. So between these shoes, obviously there's some key major differences. Wearability, like what you can wear this with, this is the winner. Durability, probably this one is the winner as well because of materials. Storytelling, the release on this was amazing. The brick by brick is a nod to the trials and tribulations, the triumphs and challenges that Nigel had to go throughout his career, and it's also a nod to New York City. And he was just saying he's going to build his legacy brick by brick. I'm not putting the snowfall thing in there. I might put the snowfall thing in there.
Thanks for having my back with that motherfucker. He want to take over and shit.
Park the car.
What?
Park the car. I got all this shit hanging over my head. But you off trying to start a war with our partners.
The nigga diss me every time I see him. Acting like he the one in charge and shit.
In Compton, he is the one. You lose. Every time you bite with that nigga, and I'm the one that pays for it. And you gonna get off his corners? You gonna leave his people be? Or you the one that's gonna find yourself a new plug?
You don't mean that shit?
The fuck I don't. I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another nigga talk. Drive, motherfucker!
But, so, wearability, as far as outfits, color, ease of wear, here. Durability, here. Storytelling, here. Materials, I'm not going to go on either way because they're not made for the same thing. Like, this one has premium materials as well, but it's premium materials to skate. You know, you can still wear this, but this is like that. We can't compare them. It's apples to oranges, and they both do very well at what they're doing. As far as premium materials, we definitely, I could not take away from the Nigels what they have going for them as far as premium materials. Packaging. Nigel, look at this box. That's one of the best parts in my opinion. We got a literal brick box, and it's not, and this is a textured box. Like, this is not just a printed on wallpaper skin for the box. And it did come in I don't have the bags, but it did come in the bags, they were wrapped up with the blue band, and they were in, I don't think they were in like the plastic bags that the Fear of Gods come in, the silver, but I'm not 100% sure. Eli's pair unfortunately did not come with those, but you know, I would have, that doesn't matter to me either. So shout out to that. So packaging, I'm going to go with the Nigels. Comfort is probably going to go with the SB, just because it like, this isn't changed any from a regular Jordan 4. And they said that the SB actually, and this seems probably contrary to popular opinion, because the SB is much thicker than a normal Jordan 4, but this is supposed to be, actually they pulled inspiration from the original 89 Air Jordan 4 to change it to make it more comfortable and wearable for skating. Overall, which one do I like better? I think I like the SB4 a little bit better, but it's not to say I don't like this. I'm really not the biggest fan of either one, because I don't like predominantly white shoes, but also I'm not really just the biggest fan of this orange red color. So, you know, I had no impulse to buy either one, so I'm glad I could save money in that regard. But like I said, I guess I'm just a broke one on the podcast, because all my boys got these. You know, I can't keep up with them dudes. So, and I didn't need another shoe in here that I wasn't gonna wear. So, shout out to Uncle Jer. He got his. How, I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out this weekend. Rich, he got his through StockX, which that didn't really go well for my brother. And then Eli, the 4-man. Shout out to Goat. His wasn't as smooth either, obviously, because he didn't end up with the bags either. But, and weirdly enough, Rich's and Eli's both came from China. Really weird that, you know, they just happen to get matched with sellers out there. It's like, not like people are holding here and not selling. It's kind of weird. So, let's see. I'm trying to think. Let me brainstorm real quick. Make sure I don't have anything else. All right, guys. That's all I got for today. Let me know below which one of these you like better, which one you think is worth the money. Obviously, the resale is a lot lower on the SBs right now. I think in the long run it will go up a little bit, but these are not, you know, the resale on this is not going anywhere. So let me know which one you would buy, which one you think is better. What would you wear with these specifically? Leave us a like, leave us a comment, leave us a sub if you learned anything. We are currently on the road to getting 200 subs in 60 days, because we have something coming for you guys in about 60 days. We've got about 4 in the last 2 days, so I appreciate everybody who has been showing us some love. I will see y'all out on the next video. Peace.